Who is behind this company that has leased the 2,900 acres of Franklin County, Kansas farmland? We went to their website and got some information from their own words. Since everyone they work with is family, according to them, let's get started at the top. Here is Mike Haas. He is the founder and the CEO of Orion. His resume is very impressive. He's even featured on the website for the Academy of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineers. It shows his degree, his education, everything that he's been a part of. We wanted to make sure that this was the correct Michael Haas. And it says here that he is the CEO of Orion Energy Group out of Oakland, California. It also shows that in 2008 he founded Alliance for Climate Education. When I searched, I couldn't find an Alliance for Climate Education. What I did find, however, was this acespace.org website. It appears that this company is now known as the Action for the Climate Emergency, and he is still quite active. When I went on the website, it was very easy to search who they are, and I went to meet the board. You can see a couple of familiar names on that board list. Here we have the founder and the CEO of Orion Energy Group right here on the board. And here is Jim Eisen, the vice president and the general counsel of Orion Energy Group, also on the same board for this climate emergency. I checked back on Orion's website just to make sure this is the same Jim Eisen, and here he is. So what exactly does this Action for Climate Emergency, or ACE, stand for? And does it align with the values of the residents of Franklin County, Kansas? On my first search where I hit About Us, it seems like it would be along the lines of what everybody would want: justice, equity, telling the whole truth, creativity, power, and the courage of young people. I want you to check out this website for yourself, but this is where it starts. There are so many different categories in this website that I want you to check out, but I just decided I was going to start here at this Youth Action Network. It's kind of intriguing. It's aimed at getting our kids involved in politics. I mean, it's their political views that they want our kids to take on, but it's a very eye-opening read, and I encourage you to check it out and to take a look at some of the videos and the social media posts that are affiliated with it. It's very interesting as you go further because it says here that they're trying to educate our nation's youngest and most diverse eligible voters. And I can see a lot of tactics that they've used here to try to gain all the support from the young people and their teachers to try to get them to vote along the same lines and to campaign along the same lines as their belief system. I don't know if that's your belief system, but that's up for you to decide. They've made activism quite easy. There's a section for climate advocacy, and all you have to do is click one of these pre-written letters and emails. Like, all you have to do is click. Isn't that convenient? They've already worded exactly what you want to say. All you have to do is sign your name. Here in the Action Team Network tab, they have a little bit of doom and gloom, and that's just kind of the start of some of the doom and gloom and the fear tactics that I'm noticing, like the climate catastrophe. Are you ready to fight? The clock is running out. It's now or never. I don't know if that's really the way that we should be posing that, but that's not up to me. I strongly suggest you check out their tab Rigged. They even clearly write out their main tactics. Identify the dirtiest projects. Educate the public through large-scale voter awareness campaigns designed to deploy smart media dollars to do measurable mass public education, and to use storytelling to amplify the human health dangers and perils, including explosions, spills, poisoning, cancer clusters, asthma rates, childhood diseases, food contamination, poor water quality, etc., etc. It's kind of scary. And then local organizing. They want their 1.1 million Youth Action Network members to show up, testify, conduct petition drives, educate candidates, tell their stories, and ultimately advocate to stop the financing and permitting process of new projects. Their diverse participation is to register, educate, and turn out diverse youth voters and up and down the ballot through both a 501c3 and a 501c4 voter engagement program. Here is their 3-year impact strategy, placing a laser-like and disciplined focus on the 3 things most needed to power youth voices and leadership within the climate movement: the education, action, and influence. They want to educate tens of millions of young people about this climate emergency. They want to train tens of thousands of climate leaders and hundreds of ACE action teams. And influence. They want to increase youth voices 10 times, enabling them to shift the narrative at scale and demand pro-climate policies and holding elected leaders accountable. There's a whole subsection on protecting and accelerating the IRA, which is the Inflation Reduction Act that Biden put into place in 2022. Okay, so I zoomed in because there was no way I was reading this right. They state, unfortunately, a tsunami of disinformation continues to derail counties and townships across the United States from approving utility-scale renewable energy projects, delaying consumer uptake of the retail side benefit of the IRA, and standing in the way of state-based ambition to pass 100% clean energy legislation. Then they go on to say that the vast majority of proposed utility-scale clean energy projects are in rural zip codes and Republican-held districts, such as Franklin County. So why exactly are they targeting these areas for their projects? And why would a political action group have anything to do with that if it's also Orion Renewables that's trying to push for this? It makes you wonder who's trying to profit from who. As I continue to read, I see at the same time just a third of the American public knows that the IRA has been enacted into law. I would like to believe that the majority of our country knows what's going on a federal level. But in order to protect the IRA and maximize its benefits, we must also work quickly to socialize. Ooh, that's a strange word. The consumer-facing benefits of the IRA to these average Americans. I mean, I don't necessarily think that calling Franklin County residents average Americans is exactly where you need to go if you feel that you respect us the way that they say they do. But here we are. It's not all doom and gloom. They have a solution. Our IRA Implementation Accelerator program, coupled with state-based coalition campaigns to pass 100% clean energy bills in our key states, which are what? Seek to catalyze the adoption of utility-scale clean energy projects in communities across the United States, increase the socialization, oh, there's that word again, of the consumer-facing benefits of the IRA, and take advantage of unique state ambition ahead of the critical 2024 election cycle. So it sounds to me like they're wanting to identify who is on board and who is not, and to make sure that they've made their choices ahead of this election. They've identified their main tactics: strategic communications and media. Use smart data and mapping software to identify which communities have the most capacity for utility-scale clean energy projects to target our media dollars most efficiently. So, Franklin County. Then they're going to run large-scale, measurable mass persuasion campaigns to inoculate and educate community members in these areas about the economic incentives and community benefits of clean energy projects. Inoculate? I'm at a loss. Then they plan to use storytelling to tell the stories of young people who have benefited directly from clean energy projects in their community. There are so many TikToks with really, really excited teenagers talking about clean energy incentives. Here we have a map of their Youth Action Network in 2021, a community of more than 700,000 youth advocates in all 50 states, poised to grow by millions in 2024. So, my question is, what is the priority here? Are we looking to bolster the profits of Orion Renewables so we can then fund this political action group and get more of our youth to vote blue? Or is the goal larger? If they bring enough people to vote their way, will it be easier to funnel more federal and local tax dollars to Orion Renewables? Do we want to wait and find out?